Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Ellis Boxing, man. We got a part two today. We're gonna do some news and notes. The first half, I covered the weekend recap, all the fights and stuff like that. So if you missed that, feel free to tap in. But this one right here is more so a lot of information, a lot of stuff that's going on with boxing. We got fight announcements, we got fight cancellations, we got a bunch of stuff we're gonna cover, man. So we're gonna get into it. Before I get into that, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? Anything behind the scenes, I got my social media scrolling across the bottom, so feel free. I got my X back, my Twitter back, man. That's a long story. And you can tap in with Instagram as well. I'm on Instagram, so we're gonna get to it. So we're going to start with this one. Let me see who I got in the building first. My bro Mike in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. I appreciate you coming through. Salute to you. Yes, sir. All right, so we're going to start. So it's really no particular order, but I want to talk about some stuff. So here's a fight that's supposed to happen next week. The 25th, 2 weeks from now. So Rozicki, he had to pull out this fight again because he suffered a bicep injury earlier in the year, and he had to pull out, and he suffered the same injury, so he re-injured himself. So he's gonna be out. He's a cruiserweight contender. He's a mandatory for the WBC, Badu Jack and Noel Mikaelian, and that's been a big saga. If you've been following along with the WBC cruiserweight title, there's been a lot of shit going on with that. So this is another another setback for Ryan Rozicki because he was supposed to fight for the interim title, you know what I'm saying, early in the year, but he had to pull out with the injury. So he was supposed to fight Badu Jack too. That's the one. So you remember back in May, he was scheduled to fight Badu Jack on that Canelo card in May against William Skull, but he got injured. So they brought in Noel Mikaelian on short notice, and they fought to a draw. Noel Mikaelian is with Don King, and Don King was able to get a rematch. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how that shit works. So, yeah, this is unfortunate news, though. Whenever a guy get injured and get set back, it's never a good thing. So, hopefully he can come back and get fully healed. So, his fight is off. Here's another cancellation. We have Artur Beterbiev right here. My man Marlon Prince in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. I appreciate your support, man. Thank you for the super chat, for sure. So Artur Beterbiev was supposed to fight November 22nd on that big card in Riyadh season with Benavidez and Yard, Haney and Norman, Benn Rodriguez versus Martinez. That's a hell of a card. Notes versus Mason for the vacant title. He was supposed to fight Dion Nicholson, and they was trying to build to a big fight with him and Benavidez. Now they took him off the card, and they said he wasn't injured, so that's a good sign. But they didn't say why they pulled him off, so I'm not sure. Now, just me using my brain, Artur Beterbiev don't fight. He's not the most active fighter. You know what I'm saying? Former world champion, former undisputed champion. He's never been the most active fighter. I think he barely getting 20 fights. And he turned pro like 2012, 2013. He's been pro for like 12 years and only got 21 fights. And he's been inactive. He's been injury prone his whole career. So my thinking is maybe he pulled out of the fight with the understanding that maybe I don't want to get hurt at 40 years old fighting Dion Nicholson, an unknown guy. Well, boxing fans know Dion Nicholson, but not a big name. Where I got the Benavidez fight already signed. I ain't really mad at that because if you 40 plus, do you really want to waste your time on training camps? And from my understanding, that fight wasn't never signed. It was agreed to, not signed. That's a big difference. And so he's out. So it's talks about him going to the trilogy with Bivol. But Bivol he just had herniated disc surgery in his back. He's gonna be out for a minute. And if he come back, it might be some lightweight. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how all this shit plays out. I'm not surprised if he do fight Benavidez next anyway, and just give more time to recoup. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't fall for. Sometimes we get conspiracy theories and shit when the stuff like this happen. But I'm looking at it kind of logical 40 plus years old, injury prone fighter. And they was talking about him fighting in November, then turning around and fighting in February. I mean, he did that shit against Bivol October to February, and now he been out the ring for a long time. So I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting though. It's interesting. I saw Dan Raphael say the withdrawal wasn't due to injury. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No injury, right? So maybe he got something else. Maybe maybe it is Bivol and Beterbiev 3. But I don't know how soon he's gonna be back with that back injury. Maybe, maybe not. I know they're trying to do big money in Russia for that soccer stadium, so maybe that's the case. Ricky E in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Yes, sir. So yeah, so Beterbiev is out that card. I wanted to see him too. All right, we got Rayo Valenzuela. So the news on him, he's a promotional free agent, former world champion, coming off a loss to Gary Antoine Russell. He beat Pitbull Cruz last year for the title. He had his first defense. He lost his title, so his career is taking a big change because earlier this year he got rid of Jose Benavidez Sr. as his manager. You know what I'm saying? So him being a free agent, he's still a young fighter, so he can get with anybody, I think. I mean, look, TKO is looking for young guys and guys that's marketable. He might fit that bill. I'm not sure if he's still with Robert Garcia. I'm not sure, but that was a good fit. I actually thought he looked good in that Pitbull fight, but they kind of forced the way he explained it. They forced him to take that Antoine Russell fight, but he can come back. I seen he got reclassified in the rankings at lightweight, so maybe he can get some. I don't know. So I think he's a good. He'll be a good pickup as a free agent if you know what you want to do with him. I mean, he could make sense for Matchroom too. He seemed like maybe a Matchroom fighter. The top rank was active, maybe top rank. You know what I'm saying? He might fit that bill as well. So we'll see what's next for Rayo. Hopefully, he gets something cooking and can get back active because Rayo was one of the most active fighters on PBC before he took a loss and stuff like that. So yeah, I like Rayo too. Rayo can fight. I thought I saw something where Amari Jones will be on the Ortiz Lubin card. Is there any truth to this? If true, any possible opponents? Yeah, I got you. He do have an opponent. I was gonna speak on that too. He's gonna face a guy named Shady Glamour. I'm gonna see if I can put it in the chat. Shady Glamour. I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his first name is Shady. He's trained by Roy Jones Jr. I'm gonna put his box spec in the chat for you, bro. Yeah, he's on that card. Amari Jones making his debut. Shady Gamore. He is 14-2. You can check it out yourself. Here you go. I got you. I'll put that in there for you. There it is. Yep. You got it. That guy right there. Golden Boy signed Amari Jones. Yeah, they already signed him. This is his first fight under his new promotional deal. So yeah, check that. Yeah, there you go. Yep. I was gonna get on that too, but yeah, yes sir. All right, so Deontay Wilder news. So he was on that streaming platform with Neon. He said he about to be 2-time. Right? He said he already signed something for January for 2-time. So shit, I started to think who's gonna fight. Usyk ain't fighting in January. We got some, so that means we got a couple of secondary champions at heavyweight. We got 2 of them about to fight each other, and they're not turning around back in January to fight him. Parker is a WBO interim, and then Fabio Worley is the WBA interim. I don't know. So we got some more secondary type. We got 2 more. We got Ajit Cabiel. Ajit Cabiel has a fight date in January. He's fighting in Germany in a hometown fight. Is that the fight Deontay's talking about? I don't know. I hit up somebody close to Ajit Cabiel's team in Germany, and they said that he's not the opponent. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. They was pulling my leg. I don't know. So we're gonna see. And then the other one is Pulev. Pulev is a WBA regular champion. Now that one makes more sense though. I ain't gonna lie. And that's a winnable fight for Deontay. The Caballero fight, he's under the gun by that because Caballero is a good body puncher and a little bit different than the other guys. He's more fresher. But Pulev, shoot, they basically in the same era. So maybe it's Pulev. I don't know. Maybe it's a Bridgerweight. I don't know. I'm thinking he's going to stay with his three. He had like a 3-fight deal with the team that did his fight in June. So maybe he stayed with that. So we're going to see. That's interesting. He said 2-time, but he didn't specify. You know what I'm saying? And these days and times, 2-time don't normally mean the 2-time like we thinking. We thinking Usyk. But we know better than that. It's not going to be Usyk. So maybe he thinking this 2-time titleist or whatever. So we're going to see. I think I think Pulev makes sense. If he's gonna go to Germany and get a bag against, if they have a big bag for him to face Caballero for that WBC interim title, then let's see. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So that's interesting that he said 2-time, but he ain't really giving no specifics. So I mean, we getting close to the end of the year. Maybe we'll hear something soon. You know what I'm saying? Is there any news? No news yet for Top Rank. Not yet. What's good? He said, salute. Put me on to a lot underrated fight. No, I appreciate you coming through, bro. I'm glad I can, you know what I'm saying, drop some info for you. Yes, sir. No news on Top Rank deal, man. It's kind of delayed with those guys. I know they were supposed to get something done by the fall and start something in the top of the year, but I don't know. They still waiting. So we'll see. This one right here, this is from the WBO. So the WBO, they ordered an interim title fight at cruiserweight. They call it junior heavyweight. So we know Zurdo Ramirez, the unified champion, WBO and WBA, he's out with a shoulder injury. He had surgery a couple of months ago. He ain't gonna be back until like the second quarter of 2026. So they ordered an interim title fight with Chris Benham-Smith and Roman Freeze. Roman Freeze fights out of Germany. Now they had a purse bid last week, and the minimum purse bid was $300K. Nobody bidded on the fight, so they readjust the purse bid minimum and they cut it in half to $150K. So they're gonna reorder this, and we're gonna see if anybody pick it up. I would think Boxer would pick it up. They represent Chris Benham-Smith. They just got a new network deal, and they also got a sponsorship by Turkey. So maybe they got a bag that they can do something like that. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? It's a fight. To be honest, I don't think they need to do an interim title fight for Zurdo. I would say give him a benefit of the doubt because if Chris Benham-Smith wins, he'll be the mandatory for Zurdo, and Zurdo already beat him pretty clear. You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. You want to get your rematch and shit like that, whatever. But I don't know if boxing fans want to see a rematch. We want to see Zurdo unify with Jay Abataya, or if we have to settle for Badu Jack, we'll take that too. So we'll see. But they working. So you see, WBO is working with the promoters. You know what I'm saying? To I guess the minimum purse bid, cut it in half. So I don't know. Let's see. Anybody pick it up. That's crazy. These fighters not gonna be making a big bag. Let somebody come in and drop something on them. All right, the IBF, they ordered a vacant title fight in the bantamweight division. So this belt was left vacant by Junto Nakatani, who vacated his unified titles, IBF and WBC, to move up to 122 to make his debut in December and look for a fight, a mega fight with Inoue sometime early second quarter next year. So you got Jose Salas versus Landile Ngxeke. Man, I don't mess his name up. The South African fighter Landile. He's solid though. This is gonna be a good fight though. Salas, Mexican fighter, tough. This is a pretty even fight. We'll see. Salas is working with Viva Promotions, Manny Pacquiao Promotions. He's working with them. So if they got some new TV deal, they got a TV deal with ESPN Plus. Manny Pacquiao Promotions. they're gonna start showing fights on ESPN Plus, like in America. So they got, I think their first card they're gonna do Elijah Pierce November 29th on ESPN Plus. He's fighting an eliminator. So this one, I don't know if it's too quick to put this fight on that card. That would be dope. But yeah, we'll see. So we're about to get some titles fulfilled right here, vacant title. Also, the WBA ordered Gabby Fundora mandatory. Ruiz, Viviana Ruiz. Now they got 30 days to negotiate. We know Gabby just made the title defense in September. This is a fight that probably not needed because Gabby gonna go crazy on her. This is another one of those 5'2", 5'3" fighters that they ain't gonna be able to get too close to Gabby and they ain't gonna have no business. And I think she's older too. She like, I want to say she's close to 40, and she fights. Ruiz fights out of Australia. I don't know if Gabby take this fight. We got to see. If she does, that's cool. It'll keep her active. If Golden Boy can get another fight in this year for her, that would be cool. You know what I'm saying? But she need bigger challenges. She either need to go down and fight the top fighters at 108. We got some good fighters at 108 pounds. Or she have to go up to 115. Like, because it's getting to a point where she's beating the brakes off these girls and she's not getting a lot of competition. But she does have competition if she make a move either down or up. So this will be another type. If she fight Ruiz, it's gonna be the same type of the same type of performance that we've been seeing. And yeah, Gabby is nice. She top 5 pound for pound for sure. But she gonna need bigger names. She definitely gonna need bigger names. And she's young enough where she got time to fight everybody, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. But if this fight comes together, this about 1 or 2 rounds for sure. About 1 or 2 rounds. All right. The IBF. So the IBF they ordered and accepted final eliminator with Frank Sanchez and Dan Dubois. So let me tell you how we got here. Frank Sanchez was originally ordered to fight F.A. Ajaba, a rematch for the final eliminator. They negotiated basically all summer. Then PBC won the purse bid, and they was gonna put it on one of these shows they got coming up. F.A. Ajaba, he would have got the B side. No, he would have got the A side money because he was higher. He was higher in the rankings. So he was gonna get 65%, but he didn't like it. It kind of was a low purse bid. He ain't like the money, so he pulled out. So when he pulled out, they took him out the top 10 rankings, right? So they go down the list. So the next guy on the list was Moses Atama. Moses Atama said, "No, cool. I got a fight date coming up December 13th." So he passed on Frank Sanchez. So they moved him out of the rankings. So they said it was Richard Torres, and then he turned it down too. But Richard Torres already got a fight date scheduled and signed for November 15th. But he didn't get dropped off the rankings. I don't know if they gave him an alibi or whatever. So the next guy in the rankings that accepted was Dan Dubois. So it's crazy because we see Dan Dubois back in position to get fight for a world title, and we think, man, bro, Usyk just beat up on him. We don't want to see that no more. But these guys in front of him, they keep, you know what I'm saying? They turn down the fight. So it's like we don't get a fresh face because the guys in front of them, they turn it down one way or another. But I actually like this fight for a comeback fight for Dubois because it's not too far down in competition and it's just enough to get your shit, you know what I'm saying, uh, make you more alert. Because Frank Sanchez can fight. In his day, before the injury, the knee injury, like he can box, punch. He beat FA. He set FA down. He's a good fighter. So we'll see. I think this fight happens. Now, I don't know when. I know Dubois got a new team, and he kind of switched up his, what he got, his circle since losing. He got a new trainer and everything. So maybe this fight happened like the first quarter of 2026. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see. Sanchez is represented by PBC. I don't think PBC will win this bid because Dubois is affiliated with Turkey and shit, right? and Queensbury. It's a bigger fight if they do it over there. So let's see. It's not a bad fight though. It's just being for the IBF eliminator is crazy in a sense. You think? Yeah, I think she do. I think she get it next. I think she get it next for sure. I won't be surprised if she fight for the vacant WBA title on the Jake undercard in November. I won't be surprised. Or if at the least if she get the title fight on Amanda Serrano's card. Amanda Serrano was supposed to fight December, but they pushed it back to January. So maybe she fight for the vacant title on there. But yeah, I think that's her next fight, bro. Yes, sir. All right, so we got Sanchez versus Dubois. I ain't mad at the fight. All right, Matchroom, they signed Ben Whitaker. So this was earlier last week. This came out. Man, I like the signing. I think Ben Whitaker can be a star in boxing. Um, we know he went viral with all his clips early in his career. Fights at 175. He undefeated. He coming off a big win that he needed against that Liam Cameron guy. That the first fight they had was crazy. They fell over the top rope and it looked like Ben Whitaker got a way out because he was struggling in that fight. But he came back in the rematch and stopped him in 2 rounds. So that was a electrifying performance. I ain't gonna lie, but we haven't seen him since. But stay tuned. I think he's gonna make his Matchroom debut the end of November. So not sure who he's gonna fight. Maybe somebody nobody so crazy. So yeah, Ben Whitaker's he now signing with Matchroom, and I think that's a good fit for him because him and Eddie probably they probably can bounce off each other, but he can get in position at light heavyweight to get a big fight because light heavyweight is actually a good division, and especially against some of those Queensbury guys. They got a bunch of fighters at light heavyweight, and he can fight some solid guys. Like I want to see him after this fight in November. I want to see him against Alexander Volchik, Hot Rod Kalajic, those type of guys. Those are guys that you have to beat to go on to the next. You know what I'm saying? Those are solid, solidified guys in the light heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's others too, but those 2 names jump out. So we'll see who they pick for him in November. All right, so we're going to touch on some upcoming fights to close out the rest of the year. Some undercards that they got announced. So we got fights the main events already got announced, but we're going to talk about some undercards on certain events. And we're going to work our way all the way up. All right, so October 25th, this card was announced. Frazier Clarke versus Jamie TKV heavyweight contest, British heavyweight title fight. This is October 25th in the UK. Boxer got a new deal. They working with BBC Sport. They lost their deal with Sky Sports, so this is their new deal. I don't know who they're gonna have. I think they're gonna work with Triller TV for the US. So we're gonna see. So this fight was announced. It's the same day as Fabio Worley and Joseph Parker, which we already talked about that card. But here's the undercard that they announced. So we have Francesca Hennessy. That's the fighter to be dancing to the ring and shit. She got to step up against Bakui. That's a tough fight for her. We're gonna see. She fights at 122. Jack Massey is on the card. You know what I'm saying? We got Dalton versus Cadota, Sylvia versus Goldsmith. So this is their card that they opening up with. We'll see. They, like I said earlier, Boxer, Ben Shalom, they got a sponsorship deal with Turkey. So let's see what that means. Will they get more money to get bigger fights or however they're going to do it? We're going to see. November the 1st, this is a Matchroom show down in Orlando. They announced this card a few months ago, maybe a month ago. Linaire Perro. He's the older brother. He got a younger brother, Denier. But this is the one that used to fight on PBC. He's going to fight Jordan Thompson, who is making his heavyweight debut. They announced that undercard. You have Omari Jones. I know they get mixed up with Amari Jones, but it's similar. But he's the Olympian. You know what I'm saying? I think he's like 3-0. He's been looking good as of late. He's a hometown guy from Orlando. He's gonna face Mote. So he's the co-main event for this card. And then you have the rest of the guys. You have your Elvis Gomez. So he coming off a close competitive win where it could have went either way. He's facing Atavius Ingram. Atavius Ingram. That's a solid fight. Ingram can win that fight. Gomez ain't, man. Gomez, I don't know. He fell off, bro. When he was on PBC, they was talking about he was one of the ones, but then he fell off. I don't know what it is outside the ring shit, but he's back in the ring. He just fought not too long ago. He right back in the ring. So that's what's up. That's an interesting fight. We have Pat Brown, the Olympian from the UK, cruiserweight. He's facing the veteran Phyllis Valero from Dominican Republic. Valero got a lot of tricks to him, a lot of tricks. He can make the fight ugly. He can box a little bit. He can do a lot of dirty shit. So Brown is aggressive. He got to be on point though, because Valero is tricky. But I like the way Brown fight. He no nonsense. He gets straight to the money. You know what I'm saying? I like fights like that. They go straight to it. They try to get you up out of there. So we're gonna see. This is U.S. debut as well. Alex Bray. He fights at 154. A tall guy, like 6'2", 6'3". He can fight a little bit. He got a WBA ranking, top 15. So let's see. 154 is a hot division. So let's see. The Shunt Dev, that's the Indian fighter, Olympian. He's on this card as well. So November the 1st, we got some boxing popping off with Matchroom Boxing. So we're going to talk more on that as we get close. Also, November the 1st, this fight is like it came out of nowhere type shit. Rashidi Ellis versus Javier Fortuna. They're going to fight November the 1st up in New England. I mean, Fortuna is definitely past it. This fight is at welterweight. He's a guy that always struggled with making weight of his whole career. So he's basically like a journeyman at this point. But he's still tricky, though. He's still tricky. And Rashidi Ellis is, fast, speedy Rashidi Ellis. You know what he brings to the table. He missed out on some big fights and shit. It's crazy when you look at it. He turned down Boots, and now he's taking this fight. That shit is nasty. So, I feel like Rashidi Ellis, his whole career, I feel like his career should have been farther along, but it is what it is. But he's fighting Fortuna. I don't know what this means. I know Ellis, he has a top 10 ranking in the WBO. And I feel like he would be a good fight for a lot of these guys at welterweight. Like, he should be in the mix at the top of the welterweight division. I think it's wide open to me, but we'll see. I don't really understand the move. I guess just to stay active type shit. All right, November the 8th. So we just stand in line going on the schedule. We have Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin. So we want to see Ortiz, if he wins, fight Boots next. That's already solidified. But he got a tough fight with Lubin. They announced this card a couple of weeks ago. Floyd Schofield versus Jojo Diaz. Darius Fulgham versus David Stevens. You got Joshua Edwards, the heavyweight, on the card. So we know they announced this previously. But they also announced their undercard. And I like this undercard. Pretty solid, to be honest. Amari Jones is going to face Shady Gamore. We talked about that earlier in the show. My man asked about it. Salute to him. We've been wanting to see Amari Jones active for a long time. He signed with Golden Boy a couple of months ago, and he just, I don't know. They had like 3 cards since they signed him, and he wasn't on none of them. So it's good to see him back, because I think Amari Jones at middleweight division now, he's a young guy, 14-0, 12 knockouts. He can make a move up in the middleweight division, like for real. If Golden Boy keep him active and promote him correctly, he can get up there. Then you got Eric Priest, undefeated guy. Maybe they building up a fight between those guys. Eric Priest looked good in his last fight against Luis Arias. Boxed real well. Looked real good in that fight. So he's back. Robin Safar, that's a cruiserweight. He's on the card as well. So he's a notable guy. He beat Kovalev. That's his biggest win. Even though Kovalev was old, he beat him. So that's what's up, though. This fight is going down Fort Worth, Texas, November the 8th. So it should be fun out there too. Lubin versus Vergil Ortiz. Now here's one. This was announced before too, but I ain't never covered it on the channel. So here we go. We got Eubank Jr. versus Benn, a rematch. So November 15th. So they announced the undercard as well. Adam Azam versus Zor Adelev. So we know Zor Adelev from being a lightweight contender for all these years. He just coming off a loss to Ray Mortala. He's moving up to 140 to fight Adam Azam, who is an explosive, fast fighter. And that's going to be interesting right there. Because Zor Adelev is known to be tough, rugged, good fighter. But Azam, I think that's a good style for Azam because Zor Adelev fights with a high guard. He kind of one-dimensional, but he's solid. And yeah, bro, that's interesting. Jack Calleron versus Echo Usman. That's pretty much 50-50. Jack Calleron got a new trainer. He's with Bozy Ennis. He out there in Philly training. These guys got a common opponent in Josh Taylor. Jack Calleron should be 2-0 against Josh Taylor. And Echo Usman just beat and sent Josh Taylor to retirement in his last fight. So we're gonna see. Echo Usman is a strong guy. He's strong, and I think he's gonna make Jack Calleron work, especially the back half of the fight. Richard Rapport versus Tommy Welch. This is a heavyweight contest. Big punching Rapport. He is fighting at heavyweight now after being at cruiserweight for so long. So he finally moved up. Sam Gilly versus Ismail Davis. This is at 154. Sam Gilly is a solid fighter. Ismail Davis coming off a loss to Kevin Njoku, but he got another opportunity. They had this fight signed before he fought Kevin Njoku. He lost, and he's still getting the fight. So salute to his team. And then Mickey Talon versus Fazid Shahid. So this is a card. I was expecting a couple of more fights to be on this card. Maybe they got some for fight week, but we'll see. But the main event, I don't know what I'm expecting the main event. Eubank, he got back with Bomac, so maybe that'd be a difference. The first fight was fire, so yeah. Hopefully they can repeat what happened in the first fight, but that's kind of hard to do. We'll see. Yeah, Bomac. Yeah, Bomac is with them. Yeah, Bomac is a hired gun. That's how you know like the good trainers. They multidimensional. This is my when they ask me who is an elite trainer, who is the best trainers, they gotta have these three qualities. They gotta raise up a fighter all the way from scratch to be a world champion. He got that scratched off. They have to resurrect a fighter's career. You know what I'm saying? He did that for Jamel Herring, resurrected his career, made him a champion. And then a hired gun. Hired gun means I need help. I just come off a loss or a bad performance. I hire you to get me back right. And he did that with Eubank. You know what I'm saying? With the Liam Smith. That's my definition. You know what I'm saying? People can have their own shit, but that's mine. And I'm probably the only one that break it down like that. So y'all can have that shit too if you want it. All right, keep it pushing. Here's the other Eubank. He got a fight date coming up. Harlem Eubank is fighting November 21st against Josh Wagner. Josh Wagner is a big welterweight. He's aggressive too, so this could be fun. I didn't like Eubank's last fight. Him and Jack Calleron, that shit was ugly. They was fainting each other to death and won't throwing no punches. The fight ended with a head clash. I don't know. Jack Calleron ain't do much in that fight, so hopefully being with Bozy can unleash his offense because he was just fainting to death in that fight. So, yeah, we'll see. This is a Wasserman boxing card. So this is from Japan. We got a vacant WBC title fight with Tenshin Nakasawa versus Takuma anyway, November 24th. So this is one of those belts that Johnson Nakatani vacated. They got a good card too. Salute to them. The Japanese fighters and promoters, they don't hold their guys back, and that's dope because a lot of these promoters, they don't let their fighter get in the ring with these type of opponents. So we have a couple of good fights on the undercard. Well, all the fights are solid, but Nakano, Makito Nakano, he's gonna fight Rayo for IBF final eliminator. Featherweight final eliminator. Nakano is 14-0, 13 knockouts. Rayo we know he's a veteran, tough fighter. Never was given a proper opportunity. Cool Boy Steph never wanted to fight him. You know what I'm saying? I think that's always something to remember. Why he didn't want to fight him. That was a good fight because he was in a situation where a lot of guys didn't want to fight Cool Boy, but it was one guy that wanted to fight him, and he said no. And that's why I never call guys boogeyman, because there's always one person that you feel like, oh man, I don't need to fight him type shit or whatever. But nevertheless, this is another opportunity for Rayo to become a mandatory. His last time when he was he was trying to be the IBF mandatory. He had to travel to Australia, and he lost to Sam Goodman. So let's see if he can make good on this one. Also, you got the young fighter. This guy got 2 fights. Tamona Tabu. He's going to face Carlos Cadres. Man, you talking about step up in competition. I don't even care if he's the best amateur fighter ever. You fighting a guy with 50 fights, former world champion, tough, rugged Mexican. That's that they got a lot of they fuck with that kid. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of faith in him facing Quadras. I know Quadras is faded, but in your third fight, let's see. I want to see it. You feel me? I want to see that shit. Then you got Reiko Masuda. He's a good Japanese fighter. He got 9 fights. He got 1 loss, but he got all knockout wins. He's gonna face Jose Calderon. So not a bad card though. You know what I'm saying? Not a bad card. This guy give me some US TV for this, so I can tap in with it. But I like how they letting the young guys loose. Fuck it, let them go. You know what I'm saying? That main event is gonna be good because Tenshin is on the rise. He's a good fighter. Um, he kind of like both of the main event. Both of the guys kind of sold me on their fighting style. Like I was thinking Tenshin was just I don't know, like a future fighter, like nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't, he's a kickboxer. He fought Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition. I ain't think nothing crazy, but he's serious though. He can fight. And with Takuma, he's the younger brother of the monster anyway, and he be having so fights. But then he changed my opinion about him by winning tough close fights, and he's stopping guys. And I think he stopped Tapalas, one of those Filipino fighters. He just not Tapalas, but one of them kids. I can't remember, but he can fight though. He's a good body puncher. So yeah, this is a good one. This for the vacant WBC title, November 24th. Andrew Gray. Andrew Gray, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. CJ in the building, what's good with you? Teach in the building, salute to you, bro. Yes, sir. So this is a good card. I like this this fight card. All right, here's a couple of more. So December the 6th, we got the farewell fight of Thomas Lamana, Cornflake. He about to retire. He coming off the knockout loss to Jamal Charlo. He wasn't supposed to be in the ring with Charlo. And he's gonna make his farewell. So a lot of guys doing farewell fights. So we seen Cecilia Brækhus last week. Danny Garcia about to have his next week, and then Thomas Lamana. So that's what's up. So, and he's been a promoter for the longest time. So he just going out, and I said the way he want to go out. So I can't be mad at that. That's December the 6th. Also December the 6th, early morning. So they announced this a couple of weeks ago. Jab Ataya, he's gonna fight his mandatory Hussein Sankara. And we know these guys were supposed to fight in January. Sankara had an injury. He got a win in May. So now these guys is gonna fight finally, right? Get a shot out the way. And hopefully we can get a unification with Obataya. And now it should be Badu Jack. So, and we got more on Badu Jack too. And those guys is on the same schedule, so it makes sense. But on the undercard, they announced Jason Maloney. He's back. So he's facing Gomez on this card. He's another fighter that been around, former world champion. Him and his brother, they've been doing a lot of good stuff. Jake Wiley, he just signed with Matchroom. He's been real active. This is like his third fight this year. He fought Cambosis. He headlined a show in August, and then he fight in December. So that's what's up. Staying active. So this is December the 6th. We get to see Jai Bataille live on the zone. All right. This is Eye of the Tiger right here. So Eye of the Tiger, they out of Canada. They got guys like Arslan Beck. They promote Arslan Beck. They promote Christian and Billy. They got a lot of good fighters though. They got Mary Spencer, but they got a card coming up December the 11th out there in Canada. Andre Gamont is on the card. He's the headliner. He's a light heavyweight, good fighter. You also have Amon Katiev. They promote him too. You know, he coming off that fight with Dave Morrell, where I thought he actually won that fight, to be honest. So yeah, so normally this would be on ESPN Plus, but since Top Rank lost their deal, I don't know where we can watch it in the US other than punchinggrace.com. But these guys are pretty active, putting on a lot of shows in Canada. So yeah. I like Katiev though. Get Katiev back. I was impressed with Katiev. Felt he beat Morrell. Yeah, me too. I just didn't like that damn PED situation. You know what I'm saying? I'll never like to hear that because it always put a damper on your performance. But he did fight well though. All right, so here's Badou Jack, right? Badou Jack versus Noel Mikaelian. This is a rematch. Now, we know the backstory. These guys fought in May. It fought to a draw. Oh no, Badou Jack won the fight, right? So Don King, he dropped a petition because this fight was on short notice. So he won that shit. So they put the fight on. Well, Don King tried to put the fight, but it fell through. So they went the purse bid, and Bash Boxing won the purse bid. Bash Boxing is a promotion company that's out of LA. You know what I'm saying? That's why this fight is happening in LA. But they also is like a front promoter for Turkey, for Riyadh Season and Ring Magazine. So that's why this fight is in LA. And look at the timing of this. They on schedule with Jai Bataille, who fights a week before. And that's his basically path to a unification because Zerda was out with an injury. So I think that's why the placement of this. And this is the reason why Diego Pacheco had to go to Stockton, California instead of LA, where he's from. And we're going to touch on that as well. But yeah, the first fight was pretty solid though, pretty evenly matched. I want to see how both guys look. I know they speak on Mikaelian coming on short notice, but Badou Jack was on short notice too. It wasn't like Noel wasn't training for a fight. He had a fight date coming up like a couple of weeks after Badou Jack, the fight date. So, but I want to see both guys and offer a good training camp. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. Hopefully, the winner is tied into fighting Jai Bataille next, and I feel like that's the case. Because look, you see the pieces falling together. Bash Boxing putting on this show. Jai Bataille fighting a week before. They already had meetings about making the potential fight right here. So here you go. Let's see. All right, Diego Pacheco, he got a good fight coming up against Kevin Sajo. This is a good fight for him. And this another one. A lot of guys probably don't know Sajo. I've been speaking on Sajo a lot on this channel. He's an undefeated guy. I think he's 26-0. I don't know, but he got a lot of knockouts. He kind of fight like Billy. I wanted to see him and Billy fight in France, but that shit never came together. But he's gonna come over here and fight Pacheco, and I'm telling you, this is gonna be a tough fight for Pacheco. This is probably the most vulnerable Pacheco been because Pacheco got a new trainer, a new team. He fired Jose Benavidez Sr. I don't know who training him. I gotta get some info on that. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna find out soon because he's about to hit camp. Yeah, this is a tough fight. This a short opponent, like to get on the inside and work. He used to fighting tall fighters. I think Sajo probably like 5'7". Let's see. This is a good fight because Sajo is a top 10 guy, a French top 10 guy at super middleweight. So it actually makes sense. 2 top 10 guys. So I think it's gonna be fun. Let's see. I think Pacheco, he can use his height and reach and time Sergio coming in. But if Sergio get him fighting like along the ropes, he gonna have some success for sure. He said hopefully. We're talking about the Obitaya shit, the cruiserweight. We have Tito Mercado is back on this card. Don't have an opponent yet, but we'll see if they give him somebody good. Hopefully he do. Like he don't need to fight. He been fighting all journeymen and faded fighters. He's a young guy too, so get him somebody that we know. I like fights like Antonio Moran would be solid. I know Antonio Moran been around for a while and stuff like that, but he's a solid fighter. He got a world ranking too. They just started ranking Tito Mercado. I think he ranked in the IBF and WBO. But he did mention he was moving up to welterweight. So we move up to welterweight. Let's see who they give him. Like he got the frame. He like 5'11", 6 foot. He can fight too. He real patient. He's a good fighter. But I want his call outs to match. Like the way he call out people, I want that to match his matchmaking, if that makes sense. He call out everybody from Keyshawn, Shakur, everybody, right? So when he call out those guys, he shouldn't be fighting somebody that's low level. He probably can't get them, I get it. But it should be like, okay, he don't need to fight Jose Pedraza no more. He already done fought that similar type of competition. If you look at his resume, I think he fought Lundy, and those guys been faded. He been fighting faded guys. He need to fight somebody more fresher, and hopefully they give him that because he can fight, and I think he can do some. He can do some damage. Then we have Gabe Flores on the card. So Gabe Flores is from Stockton. That's why they're doing it there because Gabe Flores be having that shit rocking and rolling. The times I see, and when he fights in Stockton on big shows, he had big performances. I remember he was a co-main event for Beterbiev when they was on Top Rank. They had that bitch sold out up in there. It was live. And he just been chugging along since he got cut by Top Rank. You know, I always looked at him as a tweener. Like he's not like a crazy puncher for 35, and he's not disciplined enough to make 130. But he's been chugging along, winning, fighting in his hometown, got some world rankings. He was almost close to getting the Lamont Rose Jr. fight. He was close to getting that shit. That shit was gonna be on Pro Box. But Lamont Roach, of course, he got Pitbull Cruz fight, and we got more on that. So yeah, they're talking about doing Gabe Flores versus Joe Cordina. I like that. I like that fight. Yeah. And they're talking about doing some other championship fights on the card. Man, we're gonna see. If they can make the Cordina fight for this card, yeah. Let's see. Because it's time for Gabe Flores. Like those rankings have to match up. You know what I'm saying? Have to match up. The fights have to match up with your rankings at the end of the day. Because he like number 4 or number 3 in the WBO, and we can't name nobody he fought recently since leaving Top Rank. So it has to match up. I think Joe Cordina top 10. Maybe they can make that a WBO eliminator, and the winner gets the winner between Mason and Sam Noakes. So we're gonna see. I'm interested to see how this card unfolds. I think it's gonna be a good one too. All right, so those was the fight cards that was announced and the additions to the fight cards. So now we're gonna talk about some PBC stuff. So y'all know what I'm gonna get into. All right. Salute to everybody in the building. I appreciate you guys' time, but we got some more to talk about. So Sebastian Fundora, he pulled out the fight with Keith Thurman for October 25th with a hand injury. Right, he had a bone contusion in his hand. So he did X-rays and stuff like that. He can't punch for like 2 or 3 weeks, so he decided to postpone it. So a lot of people think it's they think it's something to it. I believe him. I believe Fundora because Fundora ain't the type of guy, to me, from what I sense of him, to just be making up shit. He don't really care about the outside shit. He just want to fight. And a guy like that, I don't think he would make something up. And they say his ticket sales wasn't doing good, all that shit. That may be the case. I don't know. But they looking at postponing that fight and they're still gonna do the fight. It's already signed and ready to go. So it looked like they're gonna try to go in January. You know what I'm saying? It still haven't been decided, but it's looking like it's definitely gonna be in January. And we had Manny Pacquiao announced that he's coming back January 24th. So that's the card we're looking to build that undercard. Pacquiao, he's still waiting for an opponent. The front runner is Rolly Romero, the welterweight champion. He ain't like I said. I've been telling people this, and it's 100 that he's also looking at the weekend of November 14th, just in case. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he's sending out contracts or those gonna be the guys, but Tate Davis fighting. Well, he's doing an exhibition, and then you have Conor Benn. Those two guys are in the mix, but they might not be for January. Maybe for later. We'll see how everything unfolds. But I think Rolly is going to be the fight for sure. You know, just waiting for everything to come together. So they're going to build that card. So we talked. So that's the fight. I feel like for sure. Excuse me. I have confidence that Fundora and Thurman will be on Pacquiao's undercard. All right, and we're gonna speak on the other fights too. I feel for Schooner and Shot. That's the third postponement. Yeah. Salute. What's good with you, bro? I appreciate you coming through. He said, good topic. Salute to you. I appreciate you. So yeah, so I think it's gonna be paired with. I think it's gonna be Pacquiao versus Rolly, and then Fundora versus Thurman. Those two will be paired together at the MGM Grand. Now, my man spoke on Shock Foster and Fulton. Now, here's the story with this one that nobody been talking about, but I got y'all. So, like he said, this fight been postponed. Supposed to win June 21st, August 16th, and then October 25th. So they've been postponed 3 times. It wasn't a fight that everybody was asking for anyway. And here's the thing that nobody spoke on, but y'all got it. Top Rank and O'Shaquie Foster has an option to pull out the fight because it took so long to make it after being postponed. They have an option. You know what I'm saying? Will they do it? I don't know. That's why I ain't say this fight going to be rescheduled to another card yet. We have to see what O'Shaquie Foster want to do. If his team got something for him and they can go to another fight or bigger fight, then he got the option because, bro, it's crazy to be in training camp for 5, 6, 7 months. It's crazy. I know PBC fighters are used to it, but a lot of these other fighters that deal with PBC, they don't really like that shit. So it's like, bro, it's crazy to do that, right? So we have to wait to see what O'Shaquie Foster do. Now, here's my thing on that. O'Shaquie Foster is not a big commodity for Top Rank. He don't seem like Top Rank don't value him to me. Maybe I'm tripping, and maybe y'all can walk me through, talk me off the ledge, but I feel like they don't value him. I say that because they have a ready-made unification at 130 for him. You know what I'm saying? In-house fight. Shockey Foster, a man with Navarrete. Those guys not even thinking about making that fight. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have nothing for him enough. That's why they sent him to PBC to fight Stephen Fulton, moving up in weight. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you they don't got nothing for him. They can't even get him Valdez. We got to send you to fight a smaller guy moving up. Well, probably a bigger guy that's fighting a small division. But y'all know what I'm saying. So they don't got nothing for him. So if he turned down this fight, what he going to do? What is Shockey Foster going to do? He got a big decision to make. If he turned down this fight, is he going to get something bigger? Will he go get a Sugar Nunez fight? Can he negotiate that? Can Eddie and Top Rank get together to make a Sugar Nunez fight? That would be dope. Because it don't seem like he's going to get the Navarrete. Because Eddie Hearn talking about making Navarrete and Sugar Nunez. So what would he do? Would he go look at 35 and have an eye on Shakur Stevenson if the Teofimo Lopez fight don't happen? We have an eye on that. Because there's no other unifications that's available at 135. 130 for him. Lamar Rose going up to 140. Jata Dickens fighting the Japanese kid in December. Then he gonna be waiting again. You know what I'm saying? And the guy been in training camp. You just want to fight at the end of the day. So Shockey Foster got a decision to make. Do he opt out of the shit and say, nah, bro, y'all don't strain me along. I want to go do something else. But if he does that, what they going to do for him? Because Top Rank hasn't been real, like they haven't kept him as a priority to me. He came to them as a champion, and then they got him beat. They had to come back and get his belt back to humble him or some shit. Like, let me get Canciel, let him win the title and go home to Brazil and have a parade. Then you can win your title back a couple of months later. That's some weird ass shit to me. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. Maybe, shoot, maybe Eddie Hearn be on him about Ray Ford. You know what I'm saying? How much would he get for a Ray Ford fight? I don't know. He got an important decision to make. But if let's say he say, you know what, I still want to fight Fortuna. I still want to stay into this fight, right? That fight will go on the Pacquiao card. If he say, yeah, I'll do it, it would go on the Pacquiao card, right? I don't know. Like, I would wish PBC would just keep the card together, get rid of the main event, push that to another date, take it off pay-per-view, make Fulton and Foster the headliner, and then you still got the rest of the undercard, and you can just build off of that. But I guess, I don't know. We'll see, though. So that's what it is. That's what nobody talking about, that Foster don't have to stay in this deal. He can move on. He can get out of there if he wants to. So that's what it is. Khalid in the building. What's good with you? Top rank, they don't value him for sure. Yeah, he definitely don't seem like a priority. He's not. My man Ant in the building. What's good with you, bro? He turns down Marcelo fights for the vacant. he turns down Marcelo fights for a vacant. Trey Williams, he said, yo, I said, what's good with you? Ray 4A. Let's see if Matchroom should send him something now. If they know this information. Because they was just with Karma Ready. Maybe they can make that fight. Not Pitbull card. Not Pitbull card for Foster. No, Pacquiao's card. I'm gonna touch on that Pitbull card though. He said moving dates like that is just weird. That tells you it's something going on internally with PBC where they could have just kept the show going. They can move it to a smaller venue. I don't know how the logistics works, but they've been in the game long enough where I'm pretty sure they got connections where they can just move it somewhere else. I don't know. Keep it in Vegas, we'll probably move it over here or move it somewhere else. Just keep the date because these guys be training their ass off. All right. Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach. The fight was announced. They had a press conference this week, December the 6th, San Antonio. This is the first time Pitbull is headlining a show, which I think is long overdue, to be honest. The Pitbull, he's basically the biggest. He probably the most popular fighter on the PBC side that haven't headlined. He get a big pop whenever he fights. If you ever go to his fights, they be loving Pitbull. So him and Lamont Roach gonna fight. This fight is basically what you call it? They basically doing Lamont Roach a favor because of the way how Tank did him. Tank did him dirty. Signed the contract for the rematch. Fight was already set to be announced. He had the undercard, had everything ready to go, and then he pulled out to go fight to go fight with Jake Paul, whatever, right? So they basically like, okay, he did you dirty, so we're gonna accommodate you like this. You want to make one? You can make 140. Okay, we'll give you the Pitbull fight. So that's why that storyline gonna always be there because both guys gave Tank his toughest fight. And one should have won. The other one, fought him on short notice, got a lot of notoriety after that. Pitbull. So they're gonna fight, and I actually like the fight stylistically. So far as the undercard, this fight right here is the co-main event. Janabek versus Lara. 3-belt unification, middleweight division. Bro, about time. It's about time that this division got unified with the champions that we want to see. It's supposed to have been Carlos Adames. That shit didn't work. Janabek and Lara, I take it. 2 southpaws that can punch at 160. Let's go. This is a co-main event. All right. Got a lot at stake because they're trying to lure Crawford down to 160, and the way to do that is become undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Because he just want to fight for legacy. So he don't want to just go to 160, have a regular fight, and then have to fight this guy to get to that guy. He just want to fight the man. So this is a step towards that. So yeah, that's the co-main event. Now, as far as the rest of the card, so basically the undercard of October 25th is going to slide on this card. So Jesus Ramos versus Shane Mosley Jr. That's going to be on this card. All right. That's going to be on this card. Also, Isaac Lasario, he's going to fight. He was supposed to fight October 25th. He's going to fight on this card. So there you go. Those are other two fights that's going to round off this card. Also, the prelims, Frank Martin versus Rancis, and so on and so forth, right? So they basically just sliding the undercard, except for Fulton and Foster. And the reason why is because, one is because Foster has to make his decision. Foster and Top Rank have to make their decision. And the other reason, they want to keep that together with Fundora and Thurman. So if Shockey Foster say yes and want to keep fighting and want to stay in that fight with Fulton, that's going to go to Pacquiao's card. If not, well, whether he do it or not, they already got their card set because they got the Janabek fight. Janabek versus Lara is a good. That probably be the main event in some people's minds, but those guys ain't selling like that. But that's a hell of a co-main event. You know what I'm saying? With 3 belts on the line, so they basically got their card. So this one will slide to San Antonio, December the 6th. Frank Martin, you know what I'm saying? He fights out of Texas, right? That probably makes sense for that card. And he'll be on the prelim. So there you go. So it's a lot of maneuvering that they're doing. People see it as they set this up. I actually don't think they set it up, though, because I don't see Fundora as that type of guy. But if they did, they're just making the other fight cards bigger and better. You know what I'm saying? Because Fundora and Pacquiao on the same card. Then they found the same card last time in July. So maybe they like that pairing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's a good pairing. So yeah. So PBC are maneuvering things to kind of make sure. It's like it's fucked up when guys pull out of fights and the undercard they get hit with that shit. So if these guys is about to fight in 2 weeks, they basically peaking. Like if y'all understand how training camp goes, they peaking at the 5 and 6 week mark, and they at their peak. Then the 7 week, they just winding down. You know what I'm saying? And then it's fight week. So it's like now you got them. You know what I'm saying? Then they gotta restart their shit. They gotta rest. Then they gotta pick up their training camp. So that shit is crazy. So that's what it is right there. This is the word on the street that they're just shifting these undercards to the other cards. So that shit better than nothing. I wish they would just do. I wish they would do just keep the card together, the date, but it is what it is. He said finally, yeah, that unification, yeah, at middleweight, finally for sure. Yeah, he said he going to 147. I saw that this morning. Shit, and that's an indicator right there, bro. Like, Shockey Foster may have already made his decision. Shoot, he should go 47 and fight Barrios. Fuck it, I'm about to put that out there. Tell him to fight Barrios. He's gonna fight Barrios. Oh yeah, bro. I get it. Those guys get frustrated, bro. That's man. He been in camp for a long time too. Oh, that's a long time. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how all this shit unfolds. Dandre, what's good with you, bro? Salute. All right, last topic. We're gonna talk about these Hall of Fame ballots, right? So here's the Hall of Fame ballot for So hold on, my bad. So the Hall of Fame ballot, right? They got like I don't know how many people on here, but they got 3 new entries. I know Triple G is one. He's been a hot topic of late. Steve Collins and Vernon Forrest. So this is for the guys that had fights after 1989. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but they got like Arthur Abraham on there, Jorge Arce, Naja Ben been on there for a while, Lucian Butte. So they only gonna pick what 3? 3 would be elected. Triple G getting in. I know it's been back and forth or whatever, but he's going to be first ballot. I'm not really mad at him being first ballot or being a Hall of Famer. I actually agree that he is. But he got so much fanfare from the media. The media loves Triple G. They love him. You know what I'm saying? They was they loved him so much, they was saying he would beat Hagler in his day. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't be a close fight type shit. So you know they love him. But I think he get in. You got other guys on the ballot like Antonio Tarver. I don't know. My personal thing is when you test positive for a bad substance, I don't know if I'm voting for you. If I had to vote, I probably wouldn't vote for him. Same with Fernando Vargas. He tests positive too. That's just my preference. Sean Porter, he got on the ballot last year. You know, people say Sean Porter and their content that he's first ballot, but actually he's going on his second ballot. Same as Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is on here. We'll see who they pick. But I think Triple G going to get in for sure. Lucian Boutte, Joel Casamayor. Got some good fighters on here. Chris Eubank, Vernon Forrest. He's a new one. And it's crazy. Vernon Forrest just hit the ballot. I mean, he passed over like 10 years ago. That's crazy, bro. That he just getting on the ballot. That's crazy. Because he's better than some of these fighters on here. So that's what it is. That's one category right here. For the women, so the one that stand out to me is Christina Hammer, former champion, 2 Division World Champion. I think Carissa Shields' best win is Christina Hammer. She's on the ballot. She haven't fought in a long time, so she's supposed to be coming back. I think out of all these ladies, her and Jackie Nava gets in. Maybe somebody else, but Jackie Nava definitely. Yeah, she's a Hall of Famer for sure. She had that career. Also, Fukuyoko from Japan. I remember her. She can fight too. So yeah, we'll see. So this is the women's ballot right here. What else we got? The non-participants. So these like the trainers, referees, people that work in boxing, the PR people. Let me see. Russ Amber, the cut man, trainer cut man. Y'all remember him. So a lot of people that contribute to the game for years. Abel Sanchez is on the ballot. He might get in. Well, if they mess around and put him in with Triple G. Remember, that was his longtime trainer until he got, Triple G got bougie. You know what I'm saying? After the HBO was done, Triple G got that DAZN money. He was like, nah, I can't give you that 10%. You know what I'm saying? 3%, whatever it was. Kelly Swanson, the PR. We got Paco, the former president of the WBO. So yeah, we'll see. Hall of Fame, and the Hall of Fame takes place in June. So they're gonna come out with their selection. Who made it? They probably come out like December, I think, and then they'll do like they always have like a fight card. It's in upstate New York, so they have like a card that weekend, and they do like the Hall of Fame shit. And then the last one is like the observers. So the guys that been following the sport. So yeah, I'm trying to get on this shit one day. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Make a category for me. Yes, sir. So yeah, man, that's what it is. It's always in any Hall of Fame though, any ballot like that, it's always gonna be discussion. Let me go back to this one. So this is the main one. So you have a lot of great fighters on this card. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I can't be the one to say who gets in and who don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Because they all put their life on the line. They had good careers, champions, and all that shit. I just don't like my only disqualification if you test positive. That's my only one. You know what I'm saying? I don't really fuck with that too tough. But everything else, I can't say he don't deserve it. He don't deserve it because it's crazy to say that. Like even Triple G, right? Triple G at a point in time, he was like must see TV though. Now there's always some shit with it. Like he was like the boogeyman, right? But he was also trying to offer guys crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like I always say, my one of my favorite quotes since I've been doing this. If you're a boogeyman, you gotta pay boogeyman prices. And they won't try to pay boogeyman prices, so they'll say he don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? But you say you the boogeyman, so if you so scary, pay me like you should then. He said Zoo was in Big Bear training with Abel recently. Okay. I don't like that, but yeah, because Abel don't teach defense like that. He trying to bring out some Triple G shit with him. Lee Jackson, what's good with you? Winston Lee in the building, what's good? Let's see though. I mean, if anyone can get that style together, it is Abel because he had Triple G. But Tim Zoo needs a couple of tune-ups. He needs some confidence because he ain't taking shots like he used to. But I think he need to move up to 160, to be honest. So we'll see. So yeah, this is always gonna be up for debate. Like Mildred Taylor been on the ballot for a long time. Israel Vasquez, Wilfredo Vasquez. There's a lot of good fighters. So yeah. A lot of this shit is popularity too, just like anything. Like Triple G was a media darling, and he didn't even speak English until his 10th fight in the U.S. And he only said, hey guys, big drummers." That's all we know. He said, "Bring me my belts." That's all we knew. But he endeared himself with the media. The media loved Triple G, but he was kind of forced to. This is my take, and if you guys agree, disagree, it's all good. But I feel like HBO forced him on us, and they chose him over Floyd. When Floyd left to go to Showtime, they picked Triple G over him. That was the replacement. You know what I'm saying? But Triple G, that's why they pushed and promoted him so much. Like Triple G said, like he was fighting every other month. Feel like when he was on HBO, and I do think he was a great fighter. Though I think he's probably a top 10 middleweight, top 15 middleweight of all time. Gotta be. You know what I'm saying? He was crushing shit, but like I said, it's always when people say you boogeyman, there's always a fighter out there that he probably won't keen on fighting. He wasn't keen on fighting Andre Ward because he did say he can beat anybody from 154 to 168. No, 54 to 175 because they had some great sparring with Kovalev. So they're like, oh shit, we can beat him. You know what I'm saying? So it's always there, but he gonna get in. One of my favorites though that's on this ballot is Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wish we could have got that too. I like Mikey though. Mikey a 4 division champion, ain't he? I don't know if he gonna get in right here, but he might get in. He'll get in one day. So yeah, that's what it is. I just want to share that with you guys. We should be hearing more on who got elected for sure. So yeah, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. That's my time. I know there's a lot of information. You guys can go back and tap in with it if you miss anything. I'm gonna try to do timestamps so you can go straight to the subject. It's all good. Salute to everybody coming through. So this week we're gonna do a pre-gaming show. We're gonna talk about the upcoming fight week, October the 18th. We should have the WBC rankings come out this week. We're gonna touch on those if they come out. And whatever else, yo. So y'all stay tuned. Tap into your favorite fighters, all that good shit. Stay locked in with boxing. That's my time, and I'm out.